You guys ready for the next video?
What's all that?
It's the chili for the Chilean beer video.
You know we're having beer that has chili in it already.
Really? So what am I supposed to do with this then?
I don't know. I guess eat it?
Alright.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back once again to our channel, 3-Piece Sweet.
I'm Denny.
I'm Luis.
And I'm Will.
On today's spicy episode of Brews Tunes, we will be reviewing 4 different chili beers.
If you enjoy our material, please make sure to give our video a like and don't forget to click on the subscribe button below. So without further ado, here we go.
Our first beer for today is Dia de los Mangos by Beachwood Blendery in Long Beach, California.
This beer is a Belgian-style sour ale fermented and aged in oak barrels with mango, tamarind, and chili, and clocks in at a 7% ABV.
Dia de los Mangos has won several awards, such as a gold medal in the 2017 San Diego International Competition and a bronze medal at the Great American Beer Festival in 2017.
Cheers!
First of all, we're going to talk about the appearance of the beer. This is a cloudy, orangey color to me.
To me, I can actually pick up a bit of the chili floating around.
Yeah, it's definitely hazy, and it's orange, almost kind of golden color.
Next, we're going to talk about the aroma of the beer. You get a vinegarish smell, you get mango, some chili, and light barnyard funk. My best description of it is if you've ever had the Mexican candy Vero mango, it smells like that with sourness put together.
To me, I'm definitely picking up a bit of the chili and definitely smells like sour mangoes.
Yeah, definitely picking up that tartness that comes along with sour beer. Picking up mangoes and a hint of chili. Next,
we're going to discuss the taste of the beer. I get mango up front. I get some light oak characters, a little bit of sourness, and then some fire from the chilies in the back of my mouth.
For me, definitely picking up the tartness. I'm getting a bit of sweet lemon, and it definitely has some heat to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting mango up front. I'm also getting some tamarind sort of in the middle, and on the back end, of course, on towards my throat, basically, I'm getting that fire.
Next, we're going to discuss the mouthfeel of the beer. I'd say this is about medium-bodied. It's a pretty dry finish, with the exception of a little bit of the fire kind of lingers towards the back.
And for me, I'm getting some light acidity from this and also getting a bit of that fire.
I'm getting a low amount of carbonation, and I could definitely still taste the fire.
Finally, our overall assessment of the beer. This is another great offering from Beachwood Blendery. It's a very complex beer. You know, it's a lot of elements like the mango, the chili, the oak characters, the funky barnhouse elements. It all comes together and blends really well, and it's a great offering that I would drink any day.
I agree with Luis. I think this is a great beer. It has a lot of complex ingredients, a lot of very strong ingredients with the sourness and the tartness with the chili, and they actually were blended very well together, and I feel that it's very well balanced. And I definitely enjoy this beer, and I would drink it again for sure.
This is definitely the most interesting sour beer that you might ever encounter and have the pleasure of drinking. However, I would actually drink this in moderation because I could already tell that, the fire is already burning in my throat. So if you ever have this one, if you ever see it at the store, I highly recommend it. Just make sure you drink it in moderation.
Our second beer for today is the Habanero Sculpin by Ballast from San Diego, California.
This beer is an American IPA brewed with habanero peppers.
The Habanero Sculpin clocks in at a 7% ABV.
Cheers!
First of all, we're going to talk about the appearance of the beer. I'm getting a slightly hazy copper color.
Me, I'm getting a golden, slightly dark golden color.
Yeah, definitely copper colored with bubbles rising from the bottom and a little bit of lacing.
Next, we're going to talk about the aroma of the beer. I'm getting some sweet maltiness in the smell and very heavy smell of habaneros.
I'm picking up some floral scents, and of course the peppers are very apparent.
Yeah, the habanero peppers are definitely right up front and in your face. And I'm also getting a little bit of a citrusy scent.
Next, we're going to talk about the taste of the beer. I'm getting habanero right up front, like right in your face. I'm getting a little bit of the citrusy taste from the hop profile and a little bit of that maltiness from the grain profile.
For me, I'm picking up some notes of grapefruit, as usual in an IPA. However, they're quite masked by the pepper flavors in this beer.
I'm definitely getting the habanero and also a little bit of mango.
Next up, we're going to talk about the mouthfeel of the beer. This is a medium-bodied beer with a crisp, dry finish.
For me, I'm also getting the medium body, and for me personally, I feel that the heat from the beer creeps up very slowly.
I'm getting a medium amount of carbonation.
Next up, our overall assessment of the beer. I would recommend this for fans of chili beers or just chili in general. For me, I would probably drink this not very often at all because I'm not a huge fan of spicy foods and stuff like that. I do enjoy it, but it's something that I would have to take my time with and slip slowly because it has a lot of fire.
For me, this beer was pretty good. I don't think I would drink too much of it because I'm not too big on spicy foods or beers, but I think for anybody that enjoys really spicy things, they would probably enjoy this beer a lot, but it's definitely one to take it easy with and drink slowly.
I think overall this is a good hoppy beer. However, it's extremely spicy, at least for my taste, even though I am a fan of spicy foods. So definitely agree with the guys. If you're a big fan of spicy foods and beers, then this is for you. Either way, I would recommend drinking this one very slow. And if you're not a fan of spicy food or beer, I would probably recommend that you would stay away from this one.
Our next beer is Choco VESA by Stone Brewing in Escondido, California.
Choco VESA is an imperial stout clocking in at 8.1 ABV.
This beer was originally brewed in 2014 with local homebrewer Chris Banker after his recipe won Stone's annual homebrewing competition.
Cheers!
First of all, we're going to talk about the appearance of the beer. This is a jet black in color with a khaki colored head.
For me, I'm getting a coffee colored head and has a very opaque, dark color to it.
I could tell it's a dark brown, but however, it still looks almost like a dark jet black color, and it has a light amount of head.
Next up is the aroma of the beer. I'm getting the smell of coffee, roasted malts, some cinnamon and nutmeg, and a little tiny bit of the pepper smell.
I'm also getting a very tiny bit of pepper smell. I'm getting some notes of espresso and cocoa.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the cocoa and coffee right off the top, and a tad bit of spicy peppers.
Next up, we're going to discuss the taste of the beer. I'm getting a lot of chocolate and coffee up front, some nutmeg in the finish, and also a very subtle chili taste in the back.
I'm picking up some coffee flavors and some mixed spices as well.
I'm definitely picking up dark chocolate, vanilla, some cinnamon, and actually the spiciness, I really don't taste it. Like Luis said, it's pretty subtle.
Next up, we're going to talk about the mouthfeel of the beer. For me, it's very smooth and creamy mouthfeel.
It's also very smooth to me, and the carbonation seems very balanced for this type of beer.
Yeah, it's a definitely smooth beer with a medium body and a dry finish.
Finally, our overall assessment of the beer. This is a great beer from Stone. They did a great job emulating the Mexican hot chocolate that they're going after with this beer. The chili is very subtle, but it's a very well-balanced beer.
I agree with Luis. I think this beer is very well-balanced. Has a lot of complex flavors to it, but they're mixed together very well. The chili flavors were more subtle in this one, but they're definitely there, and they're very comfortable to drink I would say for anybody, even for people that don't like spicy things. I would drink this beer any time of the year.
It's definitely a good beer. Very complex. However, everything is well balanced, and it's really an overall great beer for you to drink and enjoy any time of the year.
Our final beer for today is Bomb by Prairie Artisan Ales in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Bomb is an imperial stout that clocks in at a generous 13% ABV.
Cheers!
First, we're going to discuss the appearance of the beer. This beer is very dark, black. It's very thick and oil-like.
Yeah, for me, it has a very opaque color, and there is a very light amount of head.
Yeah, it's very dark. Almost, I would describe it like jet black.
Next up, we're going to discuss the aroma of the beer. I get a lot of coffee, chocolate, and vanilla. Almost like those chocolate and vanilla wafer cookies.
For me, I'm picking up some espresso, and I'm actually not picking up much of the chili peppers.
I agree with Will. I wouldn't know that this was a chili beer because I really don't smell that at all. Most prominently, I do smell a lot of chocolate and coffee.
Next up, we're going to discuss the taste of the beer. I still get a lot of chocolate and vanilla and strong coffee notes. I do get a little bit of the chili in the back of the mouth in this one.
For me, I also get a lot of espresso, and the chili flavors are very subtle, but they're there for sure.
This is definitely a chocolate forward beer, in my opinion. Like espresso coffee, I could taste that as well. And a tad bit of spiciness towards the back end.
Next up, we're going to discuss the mouthfeel of the beer. It's very silky and smooth in my opinion.
For me, this beer is also quite smooth and has a very comfortable carbonation.
It's definitely smooth and silky, and I agree with Will, very light carbonation.
And finally, our overall assessment of the beer. For me, this is a great beer. It's one of my favorite imperial stouts. It ranks amongst the tops. 13% alcohol, you don't even taste it. It's so good. It has a lot of interesting flavors. I would recommend this for any lovers of imperial stouts or stouts in general. It's an awesome beer.
For me, I really enjoyed this beer. I think it's an excellent beer. I don't know how they managed to get it to be so smooth with such a high ABV. I really cannot taste the high ABV in this beer. I love this. It's a great stout, and I would recommend it to anybody who loves stouts.
This is a great imperial stout. Overall, I think it's well balanced with all the different characteristics and ingredients that they were able to put in this beer. And again, like with the guys, I agree with them. I don't even taste the 13%. I don't even feel that. So this is a great beer overall.
Okay, so now folks, we're going to give you our final assessment of the tasting. We're going to give you our favorite beers. For me, it was definitely the Bomb from Prairie. It's such a good balanced beer. They do an excellent job. I'm not a huge fan of like over-the-top flavors. So I think Prairie does a great job of, you can taste the chili there, but it's not over the top and so prevalent where it's just too much, you know. I feel like they did the perfect balance.
I agree with Luis. My favorite beer was also the Bomb by Prairie. I felt that it was very balanced. The mixture of chili and stout chocolate and coffee flavors blended very well together, and the high ABV is very comfortable to drink. So that's my number one favorite.
My favorite beer from today's tastings is Dia de los Mongols by Beachwood Blendery. It was an overall great beer for me, and it might be because I have a slight bias towards sour beers. It was a little bit spicy, however, it wasn't overpowering. It's definitely one of the most complex sour beers I've ever tasted. If there's any folks local to the LA area, I would highly recommend you head down to Beachwood Blendery. And if anyone, that's, from out of town, if you're ever in town, I would highly recommend you check out all the great offerings from Beachwood Blendery. All right, folks, so that wraps up our video for today.
As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and click on the subscribe button below.
Until next time.
Cheers! Dude, you just finished that entire bag. Are you okay?
I hate you guys. I can't feel my mouth.